Hey everybody, Ryan here. Thanks for tuning in again to Learn to Play, brought to you by our friends at the Bearded Bird. In this episode, I'll be teaching you how to play Shark Island from Upper Deck. It's a really fun game. It's great for parties especially a nice beach party. It's really cool. The game plays anywhere from 2 to 8 players. In the game, one player is going to be taking on the titular role of the shark, a great white shark terrorizing the idyllic beaches of summertime America, while everyone else plays different hunters. They all have different backstories and powers and abilities that they're well suited to. The shark wins if at any moment they collect enough terror tokens to succeed by fulfilling a quest that they're on, whether that's getting the mayor fired or too much national coverage or having the resorts shut down. And the players, the hunters, win by hunting down the shark and doing enough damage to kill it through a really interesting combat system. Let's hop on over, and I'm going to be teaching you the setup and showing you how to play step by step with the help of Brittany, who is with the Bearded Bird Brewing Company, our awesome sponsors. And after that, you'll watch some gameplay with me and Brittany, as well as our friend Ben from the Virginia Gaming Association, and Bryce, who you'll probably recognize. He's from Steamcraft Inc., and to us, more importantly, he's one of our awesome patrons. So, Shark Island by Upper Deck. Okay everybody, so to start off, I want to show you what the different players' areas are going to look like, as well as get you familiar with what some of the different cards and boards and tokens look like throughout the game here with Shark Island. Here we have 3 different of the player areas. This first one here, the yellow player, is the sheriff, and you'll see there is the marker token that'll be moved around the playing space, the first player token, which is the steering wheel, and their play board. Now all of these will show the damage tracker for their ship, the number of action cubes that they have to spend, as well as how many dice they're allowed to roll for the search section. Here's a behind-the-scenes glimpse for the player that will be playing the shark. You can see this is the 3-player game, so I start with 3 coins. I've already chosen what my win condition is going to be, and also always back here I have hidden my shark token, as well as 2 of the decoy tokens, the false fins. You're going to always want to keep your coins and those 3 hidden back here as you go through and play the game as the shark. And here are those decoy false fin tokens. These are a big part of the strategy you'll be employing as the shark player. The shark also has their own health tracker, you can see there. Now the red numbers are the numbers that you can't heal past without very specific cards later in the game. Also right there is the combat deck. That's what we're going to be dealing from whenever we get to the combat portion of the game. You can also see some of the reroll tokens. Those are going to be given out to the hunter players as rewards for winning combat. And here we have the terror tokens. This is what you're trying to collect as the shark. And there are different kinds of terror tokens that all contribute to your win conditions. All players take 1 card into their hand, and then we can jump into the proper turn order. Whoever saw a shark movie most recently is the first player, and they start by flipping over the calendar card. That's going to give you any special instructions, as well as tell you if you need to add or subtract location cards this round. Now we've got 3 players, so we're going to flip 3 location cards. These are the different places where the shark may be hiding. They're also going to be letting you know what additional decoy fins you'll be collecting as the shark player. The ski boat gives me 2 additional. The town dock gives me 4, and I get 3 for the cave for a total of 9 more decoys that I pull from the pile that stays visible for everyone, but then I put that back behind my screen, adding it to my secret pile. So I have 9 plus the 2 that I already had for 11 and my actual shark token. As the shark player, you're going to decide where to put your different tokens. For the ski boat, I decided to place 4. At the town dock, I'm also placing 4. And the island cove, I'm placing 4. Now, I'll let you know now that the cove is also where I placed my shark token. This is the search phase where all of the different hunters try to find the shark. And they start off by rolling the different search die. Now, you're allowed to roll as many dice as are showing on your character card. And Brittany here is rolling more than she should be, just so that we can give you an idea of what some of the different faces are. But her card, the sheriff, you would only roll 1 die. Some of the other cards allow you to search with 2 or even 3 dice, which makes searching a whole lot easier. Rolling the face with the shark on it means that the shark gets a coin to use later. And you'll also see that Brittany rolled a buoy, which she's going to be able to use as a wild card. And ultimately, she flips that over to the spear and gets herself another card from her player deck into her hand. She's going to be able to use that in some of her fights. But a lot of the time, you are using the search icons. And those are going to be really important. They're one of the ways in which you try to find the shark. The search icons allow you to place it and flip over one of the fake fins, hoping to find the shark. Now you have to place it on a location that has been searched 1 less than the total there. So here we see Brittany was not able to find me. And basically that's going to conclude the player's turn. She decides where she wants to go, and then she would continue to look for me, the shark, based on however many confirmed sightings, that's the little binocular dice, had been played there. And that continues from right down the line for all of the different players, searching, flipping over the fake fins, drawing to your hand if you get the chance, and hoping to find the shark. If you do find the shark, then combat will ensue, and if you don't, ultimately the shark reveals their own location. Now in this one, Brittany wasn't able to find me. I was there at the cove, which means when I revealed myself, we would jump immediately to a terror phase. That's where I was, and so I flipped this card over to see how many terror tokens I've won. I'm able to take 3 of these. Now hopefully that means I'm going to get 3 different terror tokens that I leave out for people to see in order to try to reach my secret goal, whether that's getting the mayor fired or using wild cards in order to get national press or collecting a lot of them in total to shut the entire beach down. Now ultimately, I want to close resorts by collecting 5 of those types of terror. So what would have happened if the shark had been at the ski boat? Well, that means I would have been found out and we would jump into the combat phase. Combat with Shark Island is really interesting, and it's basically a game of blackjack. The shark versus the players to see who wins. Now we go through the game of blackjack, but instead of 21, players are trying to hit 23. All right, so here we go. She has 5 showing, but the shark doubles it, so she's at 10. With the 1, she's at 11. Now, she could use that 1 as the harpoon to get rid of the shark, but she decides ultimately that she doesn't want to. She's going to gamble and try to keep going. But that is an option that players have. Ultimately, Brittany decides to push her luck. She gets an 11, and she's already at 22. Unfortunately, the card that she already had puts her over the top. She's at 24 with that 2 right there, and she busts, which means that she's going to be taking damage once we resolve everyone else's combat. as I play the shark, I continue to keep going. Now, I have one shark card showing. If I ever get 2 of them, I automatically win. I keep going with that 9 you already saw, the 11 and the 3, and I'm perfectly at 23, which means as the shark player perfectly at 23, I get some extra goodies. I'm going to get an extra terror token. Looking at the results of all of our other players, no one else has been able to beat me or match me at 23. Now, if there is ever a tie between the hunters and the shark, the victory goes to the shark. And over, all of the different players will be taking damage, and you'll see that damage tracker that was already off to the side. Now, if the damage tracker ever is all the way down into the red, unfortunately, the hunters are not able to go out searching anymore and have to stay in dock in order to repair their boats. And they do repair to full if you take that option. Once that's done, all of the markers go back to the different players that they came from. We clear off all of the extra decoy tokens, putting them back into the pile. However, 2 decoy tokens and the shark come back behind the board with me because I am the shark player. We take these locations off of the board and put them into a discard pile. And then we move back to the top of the shark's turn. Back at the top of the turn order, we flip over a calendar card, adding or subtracting locations if it says to, and also paying attention to any of the special rules for that round. Also, I really like the fact that Shark Island has all of the different steps for the turn order and everybody's options as far as what the players can do as well as what the shark can do right here on the back of the shark screen. It's an easy reference to follow, and it just makes things run a lot more smoothly. Here you can see that I have 4 of my resort closed tokens, terror tokens, as well as a wild card, and that gets me to my 5 resort closed tokens that was my win condition. So at least for the tutorial just between Brittany and I, the shark player won. Now let's hop over and take a look at the game that we actually played with a couple of our friends on our games night hosted by Bearded Bird Brewing Company. There you go, folks. Grab your paddle boards and your chum buckets and your air tanks and your harpoon guns and a bunch of friends and head on out and pick up Shark Island. I thought that it was a lot of fun. I was worried at first, I'll be honest. I thought that there were too many options. There were too many, if this happens, then this other thing over there happens. There's a lot of different mechanics. There's the hunting and searching, and there's the strategy, and there's deception, and there's card management, and there's playing blackjack. There's a lot of things going on. But after you get through the first round, and hopefully after watching this video and knowing what to do, it goes by pretty quickly, and it is a lot of fun. I do think that the game is skewed a little bit in the favor of the shark, but I think that that balances out because it's a lot versus one. Things tend to work out a little bit better for the shark most of the time, but you also have 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 other players that are all coming after you. And if you do decide to play a one-on-one version of the game, then whoever it is that plays the hunter controls 3 of them. So again, I think that while the cards might look like they're in favor of the shark, it's a pretty balanced game. Let us know in the comment sections what you think about Shark Island, what you like about the game, where you think it could improve, just your general thoughts. I absolutely want to make sure to say thank you to all of you who continue to come in and watch and share and tell other people about our videos. You're our support base, and it's super awesome of you. If this is your first time watching Learn to Play or the first time watching any of the Roll for Initiative videos, then absolutely welcome. Thanks. Don't forget to hit subscribe and to like and maybe share the video if you really liked it. You can hit the bell icon to make sure you get notifications, or you know what, just come back every Tuesday and Thursday. That's when we put out videos. And a huge thank you to all of our patrons, Bryce, Arvie, Sean, Joan, and Lainey. If you like the Learn to Play series and you live in the Hampton Roads area of Virginia, then come down once a month. We will be at the Bearded Bird filming and teaching people how to play, as well as sticking around to play games ourselves. And those games happen every Tuesday night on Granby Street. I'm Ryan, and I'll see you next time on Roll for Initiative. No, that's recording again. Great.